All right, I know a guy that's going to be frustrated with the Bengals right now is Solomon Wilcots. He played for the team. That does a great job. Bleav in Bengals. And also you can hear him on Sirius XM NFL Radio. Solomon, I appreciate you doing this. I'm losing my mind over this football team. Burrow's unbelievable. Chase is unbelievable. Hendrickson's leading the league in sacks. And this team at 4-6 with 4 wins up against 4 teams who stink. What's going on?
Well, you're right. It goes to show you, because every year in the offseason, Zach, and you know this, we talk about all the quarterbacks coming out of the draft and how they're going to change franchises. But it still comes down to some basics. You got to be able to tackle on defense. And it might help if you can cover and don't let them to throw the ball over your head and don't let them score 4 consecutive touchdowns. It might help if you don't fumble. You know the running back that they sent packing for a 7th-round pick to Houston by the name of Joe Mixon. Go check the record. He's got a career number of 6 fumbles in like his 7 seasons in the NFL. 3 of them came during his rookie year, and then he's only fumbled 3 times since then. He never fumbled. Go take a look at the numbers. When you don't turn the ball over and you're good in terms of blocking and tackling, that's what wins games. You can throw for all the yards you want. You can catch the football. And look, we love Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. These guys are historical players. And now you got to wonder and wait and hope the Bengals don't waste their careers, right? You got to hope that it doesn't happen. But you have to have those other components if their performance is going to be meaningful.
Do you think there's any chance at the end of the year that they get rid of Zac Taylor?
No, because I don't think Zach's not the problem. I would have went for 2 points at the end of the game. I think he understood a team on a short week, on a visiting team, who's now in over, to keep the game from going into overtime. You got to win it now. It's like you got to drive the sword in when you have a chance to stick the blade in. You do it. You go for the kill shot. And you've got a red-hot quarterback and an ice-cold defense that can't stop a bloody nose. So why would you want to put Lamar Jackson back on the field? Why would you want to send your players back out there in the 5th quarter of a game called overtime, thinking that you were going to win it then when you have a chance to win it now? If you go back and look at that play, and I love Joe Burrow's take on it, he said they never call that. But guess what? There's a rule in the National Football League that you can't go to the head of the quarterback. You can't go low on the quarterback. You can't grab and hold players at the line of scrimmage when they're trying to run a pass route. Like, these are the rules of the game. You don't, as a referee, you don't get to pick and choose when to call it. If there's a violation, there's a violation. Now, I'm not going to argue and quibble over the officials. You got to win the game on the field. But Zac Taylor didn't miss any tackles. Zac Taylor didn't let him throw the ball over. He's not the one that let him score 4 straight touchdowns. The Bengals defense did a great job of stopping Derrick Henry. You know how you stop Derrick Henry? Play with a lead, Zach. You got to play with a lead because they'll give up the run game. And that's why I don't think the team – I like the Baltimore Ravens. I like Lamar Jackson. It's going to be hard for them to win a Super Bowl when you can't play good defense and when you have a coordinator who tends to panic and gets away from the running game even if they're trailing by 7 points. Okay, at halftime, what was it? 14-7. The Eagles went up 21-7. Next thing you know, we fumble the ball and give them the ball at point-blank range. Now it's 21-14. You're only trailing by 7. Why are you not allowing Derrick Henry to do what Derrick Henry does? But that's what they did in the AFC Championship game, even when Derrick Henry wasn't around. If they're losing on the scoreboard, running game, Lamar, go out and win it. Lamar has grown to become that kind of quarterback, though. This guy is now 6 straight games with over 275 yards passing and a quarterback passer rating of over 120. And the only other guys that have done that, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and Aaron Rodgers. He is in rarefied territory, so we got to give Lamar Jackson his credit as well.
The Kansas City Chiefs have been vulnerable this year, but they're still undefeated. Their defense for the 2nd year in a row has been better than their offense. I'll have you throw a dart on the board right now, Solomon. If you had to pick one team in the AFC that has the best chance of taking down Kansas City in the postseason, in just the AFC, who would that team be in your opinion?
I'm going to give Baltimore a shot to do that. I'm going to give the Buffalo Bills a shot to do that. Look at what Sean McDermott has done with the Bills. He jettisoned their 2 starting wide receivers in Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs, right? He's rebuilt the entire secondary. I don't think not one of the starters, unless you want to call Rasul Douglas one of the starters, they traded for him midway point of last year. So they pretty much turned over the entire secondary. Taron Johnson, the nickel corner, he's the guy that's come back. But yet, look at how they're playing. Look at how they're winning. And Josh Allen has gotten better, right? He's knocked down the turnovers, and he's playing with a higher level of efficiency. Don't write off the Buffalo Bills. And the Baltimore Ravens got a shot, except they couldn't stop you and I if we were playing quarterback and wide receiver. They can't stop anybody.
I don't know. I would be throwing some ducks. Let's be real. They could pick me off.
Well, then let me throw it and you catch it. How about that?
I think they'd be all over me trying to create some separation, if I'm being honest.
But that defense, if we do believe that defense win championships, and I do, that's not a championship defense right now. Kansas City has a championship defense. Don't sleep on the Chargers, okay? Just do not. Go look. The Chargers right now have the best defense in the NFL. They have the number 1 ranked scoring defense. They're only giving up 12 points a game. They're slowly building it. And this is not about who you are in September and October. November is the month that we remember. Obviously, December and January is where it counts. That's a team that's building momentum as the games become more meaningful.
I only got 45 seconds left. Last thing that I'll ask you. Is there any reason to believe that at 4-6, the Bengals can turn this around and get into the postseason? Because they have been a team, man, everyone tells me how great they're supposed to be, and they haven't proved that.
No, I mean, the reason is Joe Burrow. The reason is Jamar Chase. And if T. Higgins gets healthy, think if they would have had T. Higgins in that game last night. He would have made a huge difference. So, no, that's the reason. However, I could give you more reasons why it won't happen. And I think it starts with the defense, unfortunately.
He is Solomon Wilcots. Does a great job. Make sure you check him out on his Bleav podcast, Bleav in Bengals, and also Sirius XM on NFL Radio. Solomon, appreciate it. Thank you.
You're the best, Zach. Keep up the good work, my friend.